What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, many people are speculating what's next for Canelo Alvarez. So, His Excellency Turki Alashik decided to go visit the 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and first ballot Hall of Famer Mexican superstar boxer, who is for sure top 5, top 3 greatest Mexican fighters in boxing history. After he suffered a devastating loss and deflating loss, Canelo Alvarez did, to another first ballot Hall of Famer who just stamped himself and certified himself as the best fighter of this generation in Terrence Bud Crawford, who was a 4-division champion, who was a 5-division champion, a 3-division undisputed champion, and the pound-for-pound undefeated best fighter in the world, with a record of 42 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. With that said, Canelo Alvarez took on Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford jumped up essentially 3 weight classes, technically 2 weight classes, right? Because he did have a fight at 154 and he did become a champion there. So with that said, Terrence Crawford moved up. Everybody expected Terrence Crawford to get knocked out. He's too small. Can't compete with the size and the strength of Canelo Alvarez, and the skill set is different when you're dealing with a big, skilled fighter compared to just a big, just strong, solid fighter. Well, we saw the difference. There's levels. Terrence Crawford shows you there's levels, and he's on a different level. Outclassed Canelo Alvarez. I thought he won 10 rounds to 2, 9 rounds to 3, right? It wasn't close. No matter how you try to slice it, it wasn't close, right? With that said, Canelo Alvarez deflated after that, man, because his biggest fights and his biggest challenges have always been skilled pound-for-pound fighters. He's lost, right? And the one win he has over Triple G is controversy, right? It's a cloud, right? It's debatable. So he lost to Floyd Mayweather, and he loses bad. It's not that he just loses, but he loses bad and convincingly, right? Like, he's not even on their level, right? When he lost to Floyd, he lost every round, 12 rounds, right? If you want to say Floyd took off the 12th round just because he knew he had it in the bag, Floyd Mayweather's known for that, doing that, understandable. Dimitri Bivol, he lost 10 rounds to 2, 9 rounds to 3. Another top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. He lost very convincingly. And now, same thing with Terrence Crawford. And again, like I said, when it comes to with Triple G, you can make a case he lost those fights. So he has solid wins over solid champions, but then there's questionable wins. So Canelo Alvarez just deflated, right? And his team put up a post, and in the post, they said they're releasing merchandise, hinting at a retirement. This is it. This is the farewell for a great career, with a guy who had a great career. This is not ordinary merchandise. It's a guy who had, a great career, who committed, dedicated himself, so on and so forth, right? Closing, like, they're done. You know what I'm saying? And His Excellency Turki Alashik, he flew in, right, to meet with Canelo Alvarez. He went to meet Canelo Alvarez and to convince Canelo Alvarez, don't hang him up. You know what I'm saying? Don't be discouraged. Let this discourage you. And remember, they had signed a multi-fight deal where he was going to, have, I think it's 5 fights or something of that magnitude, 4 fights or 5 fights, something of that magnitude. And Turki went and convinced him. And Turki said, I just met with Canelo Alvarez, and he's going to give us 2 fights in 2026. He's committed to do 2 more fights in 2026, right? And I have to believe one of those fights is going to be, I think his next fight in reality is going to be Hamza Shareez, okay? I think that Hamza Shareez is going to be his next fight. They were looking to do that anyway. Hamza Shareez, 22 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins by way of knockout. 6'3", 75-inch arm reach. I think that's the route they're going to go. I know the world wants to see him fight the Mexican Ecuadorian undefeated 2-division world champion superstar boxer who is 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout, 6'2", 75-inch arm reach. The world wants to see him and David Benavidez. And David Benavidez will be a passing of the torch fight for the Mexican fan base. So that's why that makes sense. It makes sense because it's the passing of a torch fight for David Benavidez. But in the same token, for David Benavidez, the Mexican boxing fans, they'll support him. And it'll be a passing of the torch moment because they just support their fighters, win, lose, or draw. But for David Benavidez, I think that he'll brutalize Canelo Alvarez. I think he'll stop Canelo Alvarez. And I think that, it'll be all bad for Canelo Alvarez, man. I think they fight each other, it'll be all bad for Canelo Alvarez. He'll just destroy Canelo Alvarez, man. And in the long run, he'll get no credit like Oscar De La Hoya when he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. When Oscar beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., he didn't get nowhere near the credit he deserved because the fan base said you beat up on an old Mexican legend. And I think that that's what David Benavidez would be if he fights him next, right? Just too big, too strong, too aggressive. And Canelo Alvarez strategically maneuvered around him when he is still in his prime. Now, Canelo is not old. He's not washed. But just specific styles is going to be too much for him, man. It's just going to be too much. So with that said, Hamza Shareez for Canelo Alvarez, it's a couple of light touches. He's still a mega superstar, and call it a career, period. Dave Benavidez, it's a lose-lose for Dave Benavidez, man. It's pointless for him to fight him. Pointless. He needs to just go ahead. Once Canelo step away, he gonna receive the torch anyway. I know he wants to take the torch and the crown from Canelo as the next great Mexican fighter of his generation, but it's gonna come anyway, naturally, right? He beats Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol. He's gonna get it naturally anyway. You know what I'm saying? So he may as well go ahead and just focus on that task at hand. And Canelo, light touches. Turki convinced him not to retire. He got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's another dangerous place to be if you Canelo Alvarez to fight Benavidez. It's over, man. It's over. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But Terrence Crawford, David Benavidez, not happening. But it's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.